Hello, my dear students. I'm glad to see you. Today we will discuss with you such an interesting construction as the recent theorem. This webinar is focused more for beginners, for elementary students, maybe for pre-intermediate students, or for any levels, in case if you have never heard of such construction and how to use it and when to use it. Let's look at our topic. Here there is or there are. Okay. I'm going to draw you a plate. So you are in a restaurant and this is your plate. Inside of a plate you have soup. And there is also an insect. It's a fly over here. And now using this construction we will create the sentences to describe this picture. So we can say there is a fly in my soup. There is a fly in my soup. So you can understand that we use is when we want to use a singular countable noun. A fly is singular countable noun. How to create a negative sentence from the construction there is? Very simple. There is not a fly in my soup. Or is not can be shortened to isn't. There isn't a fly in my soup. How to make a question from this construction? Also very simple. We say, is there a fly in my soup? The answer will be, it's yes. Yes, there is, or no, there isn't. Yes, there is, or no, there isn't. This is the construction. This is singular. When we have plural form, we use there are. There are, for example, some flies. Oops, sorry. Flies in my soup. Let's imagine we have here more flies. Like that. Okay, you got my point. We have here more flies. So there are some flies in my soup. We say are when we have plural form. Negative sentence we create in the same way. There aren't or are not any flies in my soup. And to make a question, we say, are there any flies in your soup? The answer will be, yes, there are, or no, there aren't. This is how we, create this construction in a very simple way. So one more time, is we use for singular and are we use for plural. Also, sometimes we can create short form, not very often, but sometimes it's possible. For example, there is can be shortened to there is, like there and then apostrophe is, or there are, we can shorten to there are with apostrophe are, like that. We have here countable singular, countable plural. But what to do if we have uncountable noun? For example, we have water. Water is uncountable noun. What to use, are or is? Very simple answer. For uncountable nouns, as we cannot count them and we cannot create plural form, for sure we use is. Even if we have a lot of this. For example, we say there is a lot of water on the table. There is a lot of water on the table. Water is uncountable, that's why we say there is. It can be for anything. There is a lot of love in their family. There is some, I don't know what. There is some sugar on the floor. So we use is. Also, sometimes students have one more question, which I think is very important to discuss with you. What to do when we have with you, for example, singular and plural noun. For example, we have here, there is a teacher and some students in the class. I think this is, yes, this is what I wrote on my paper, the example I mean. What to use, there is or there are? Actually, we can use different forms, depends on. I will write it in green because black is getting a little bit not so bright. So, I hope you can see. We say here, there is a teacher and some students in the class. So we say is because first word after this construction is singular. If we change their places, let's think what we will have. We will have, of course, are. There are some students and a teacher. So the reason there are we use depends on the first word, on the first noun that we use after it. If this first noun is in plural form, we use are. If it is in uncountable form or in singular form, we use is. This is all about the structure. Let's talk about its usage. Usage of the structure. First rule which we use to express usage, this is existence. For existence, we express existence. That means that this thing is, it exists, it is in our world. For example, are there any potatoes? Potatoes. Are there any potatoes? We ask about existence of potatoes. We don't ask where they are or anything else. We just want to know whether there is a potato or whether there are some potatoes or not. That's it. Or there is, I don't know, eyelash on your cheek. So it's existence, that there is an eyelash. That's it. The second, and I think it's very common usage for construction, there is, there are, this is location. When we want to emphasize that there is something and this something is in one place, and this is the very typical usage of this construction. For example, there are 16 students in the class. The main thing that we want to point out, sorry, this is class, that not in I don't know, in the street, not in the bar, but in the class. And there are 16 students in the class, and this is what we want to emphasize. There is some sugar on the floor, and we want to pay attention, the person, to the floor. Yeah. Well, actually, that's it. To my surprise, I have already told you everything about this construction, how we create it, and when we use it. Now we will need to work on some exercises. The first one will be a very simple one. You will have to describe a suitcase using our construction there is, there are, like in the first case, to show that it exists actually. All right, let me switch on the PowerPoint presentation and we will move on. See you at the end of the webinar. So we have here with you construction there is, there are, and let's look at it. Oops, sorry. Okay, so let's look at our construction. The first task, you will see here a suitcase. The question is, what is in the suitcase? Please look at the picture and think what kind of things you can see here. After that, I will show you the answers. I'll give you a minute or two, and then we will look at the answers. I'm sure we can check. So what is in the suitcase? There are 2 pairs of shoes. There are some magazines. There are some socks. There are 2 pairs of sunglasses. There are some handkerchiefs. There is a comb. There are 3 ties. There is a shirt. There is a pullover. There is a pair of trousers. There is a book. There is a brush. There is a toothbrush. And there is a towel. I guess that's it. Yes. So one more time, we use are when we have plural noun, and we use is when we have singular noun. And in the description of the suitcase, we can see this very clearly. Let's look at the next one. We have to complete the sentence using there is, there are. Also, we need to use negative, there isn't, there aren't, or questions. Please pay attention that number 3, 7, and 9, and 5 are questions. So you've got to create sentences, questions, or negative sentences using there is or there are. I'm sure you had enough time, so let's check at the answers. The first one, sorry, but it shows that must be negative, I think. There isn't a beach down here. Next one, there are 4 girls and 2 boys in her family. Number 3 is a question. Is there a train to Manchester? Sorry, but there isn't a disco near the college. Number 5 is a question as well. So we put auxiliary verb to be at the beginning. Is there a good restaurant in this street? Number 6, plural. There are 2 hospitals in town. Number 7, a question. Are there a lot of children in the pool? Number 8, there are 3 families in that house. Number 9, is there a television in the flat? Because it's a question, remember. And number 10, there is a big gray cloud over there. The next one, we have the words and we need to create constructions there is or there are. Please remember that when we use this construction, first of all, we use what, and after that, where it is. Please pay attention to the what order. I hope you are ready, and I suggest moving on. So, how to create the first sentence? There is a book on my desk. The next one, number 2, we have here first of all else desk. This is a place, and then we have some books. So we need to change their places. There are some books on else desk. The next one, please pay attention that the word map is singular, and then we have some pictures. That's why we need to write there is a map, singular noun, and some pictures. It doesn't matter what we use after that, on the wall. Number 4, I wrote the same words but changed their places. The first word that comes here is in plural. That's why we need to write there are some pictures and a map on the wall. Number 5, we have here fresh air is uncountable. With uncountable nouns, we need to say there is. So there is some fresh air in this room. Let's finish this exercise, please. While I'm sure you had enough time, let's look at the sentences. We have here 15 students is the first word. It's plural, so we write there are 15 students and the teacher in this room. The next number 7, we have here first of all again object and then place to use. There is some milk in the refrigerator. Number 8, there is a bus stop at the corner. Number 9, there are 10 provinces in Canada. And the last one, there is a good program on television tonight. Next task, we have here questions. We need to complete the questions and write the correct short answer. I'm sure you can do this easily. First of all, questions, and after that, answers. Let's look at the first one. Is there a swimming pool? Are there any places? Is there a beach? Is there a children's playground? Playground is singular. And are there any supermarkets? Answers. Is there a swimming pool? Yes, there is, or no, there isn't. Are there any places to eat or drink? Yes, there are, or no, there aren't. Is there a beach? Yes, there is, no, there isn't. Is there a playground? Yes, there is, no, there isn't. And are there any supermarkets? Yes, there are, or no, there aren't. Let's look at the next one. We have here sentences for translation from Russian into English. If you know the Russian, it will be easy for you. If you don't know, you can stop watching because there is nothing else I'm going to tell you. Let's look at the sentences and think how to translate them. This construction usually used in Russian, the first word that we use, this is a place. But when we translate it, of course, we need to use object and then the place. Let's look at the first sentence. There is a pen and a book on the table. There are no chairs in the room. One tomato and some milk in the fridge. There are a lot of books in the office. There is a pillow on my bed. Look at the sentences and then I will read you the answers. There is no sense in this sentence. There is nobody home. There is a man and a woman at the door. There is a lot of milk on the table. And there is some fruit and no vegetables on the table. Pay attention that fruit in English is uncountable or countable noun. In this case, I used it as uncountable noun, and that's why I used is. Last sentences, please. These are questions. Are there any spiders in your house? Are there many cities in your country? I don't know. Are there a lot of people in your village? 200. Is there a bike outside? Yes, there is. And there are no cameras on the shelf. That's it, guys. Let me finish. So, construction there is and there are is very useful one. You have to use it when you want to make stress on existence or location. Remember that after this construction, we use either nouns in plural form and then we use there are, or nouns in singular form and then we use there is. If we have uncountable noun, we also use there is. We can create questions and negative sentences using this construction. Thank you very much for watching. See you. Bye.